Hello everyone, this is Black Lizard bringing you Sejuani Guide. So with Sejuani, start the jungle with regular jungle items, Hunter's Machete and health potions. For Trinket, I initially like to take the warding totem and switch it to a sweeping totem later in the game. This way, I can help people ward in the beginning so they don't get ganked early on. So Sejuani has a lot of CCs, escapes, and has great initiation in team fights, so she has all the right kits for a great tank. Her passive also helps in ganking, as it gives Sejuani reduction in movement slowing effects when she hits an enemy with either her ability or auto attack. But you have to be extra careful in the beginning because she's fairly weak during the early phases of the game. The enemy jungler may try to counter jungle you. You should ask your teammate to guard red buff or trinket for safe first time around the jungle. So as you see, I start blue buff first, then wolves, wrath, golems, and then red buff. I use my smite to kill blue buff, wrath, and red buff. I trinket the red buff before I do golem, just in case the enemy jungler is waiting for me at red. I then go do wrath and wolves before I go back first time. This gives you enough gold for boots and spirit stone. So let's go over Sejuani's skill set. The first skill I get for Sejuani is W, Flail of the Northern Winds. Sejuani's next auto attack will deal bonus magic damage to target enemy and anyone near. She will then swing a flail to deal magic damage around her for a couple seconds. This skill helps your jungle clear speed, so I level this at level 1 and level 3. At level 2, I get E, Permafrost. Anyone that is hit by Sejuani's ability or auto attack is applied frost. When activated, anyone in the range with frost takes damage and slow. Note that one of the enemy in range has to have frost in order to activate Permafrost. At level 4, I get Q, Arctic Assault. Sejuani tackles forward and knocks up the first enemy she hits. This is a great initiator for ganks and can also be used for escapes. Then at level 6, I get Glacial Prison. Sejuani throws an Ice Bola. If it hits an enemy champion, it freezes and stuns that champion and all the champions around. Even if you miss, any enemy champion near the Shattered Bola will be slowed. For skill order, I like to max R, E, W, then Q, but I do put 2 points on E at level 1 and 3.
So this footage is kinda later in the game, but it shows important info on Q that it can be used to go through walls for ganks and escapes.
So after my first back, I'm ready to gank. Here, I'm ganking bot. I ward the bot try and go in for the gank. I get snared by Morgana, so I can't go in right away, but this wasn't a big problem. But since Lucian got shielded by Morgana, I wait until shield is gone to go in with Q. I miss Lucian, but hit Morgana instead. After Q, I use W and E for damage and slow. After the kill, we run because Hecarim is coming bot. Since I still have good health, I try to delay Hecarim so Kate and Blitz can run away. After Hecarim leaves, I see that Lucian is still at gankable range, so I go back for another gank. Kate and Blitz did not really need me for the kill, but I Q anyway to get an assist. After ganking bot, I go top since enemy Shyvana is pushing her lane. Since my mana is low, I only have enough mana to use 2 abilities. I use Q for the knockup and E for the slow. Singe almost dies here, but he still gets the kill. Here I am ganking mid for Veigar. We also have Singe coming in for the gank, so we still fight even though enemy Hecarim also comes mid. I'm trying to focus in Italy since killing carries is more important than taking out tanks. We go and kill Nidalee and then kill Hecarim after. Veigar almost dies here, but even if he did, it would have been a 2-for-1, so it would have been okay. Here, Veigar initiates a 1v1 against Nidalee. I go in to make it a 2v1 and use QEW for the easy kill. So Sejuani's ult can be used for disengage as well. Here, my Blitz is getting attacked by 3 enemies. We have no chance of winning this fight because our health is too low for the fight. I use ult for the safe disengage. So now for the proper use of Sejuani's ult. Here, there are 3 enemies hiding in the bush. I only have Kate with me, but I go in anyway because 2 of them are really low. I use Q to engage and use my ult on Lucian and freeze both Lucian and Morgana. After ult, I use W and E for the kill and assist. Here we find Hecarim out of position, so I combo him with QWE. Veigar stuns and goes for the kill, but Hecarim ults to disengage. We chase him to tower and see that there are 2 others under tower with him, but I ult and go in anyway. After ult, I use my regular QWE combo for maximum CC. At this point of the game, I'm really tanky, and as Sejuani, it is really important to be tanky because you're going right into the enemies to absorb all the damage for your team. If you get focused, that is great because your team is doing damage without getting hit. Sejuani's job in a team fight is tank and CC. If you die in this process, it is okay if it puts your team at an advantage. But of course, try to get out alive with Q if it is not on cooldown. So after I take enemy blue buff, the enemy starts to chase me. I tank and kite them towards my team since they're really close by. Also notice that Lucian is dead. It is a good opportunity to engage since it is going to be a 4v5. So with that in mind, when my teammates get close, I turn around and ult the two enemies closest to me and use whatever skill I can to CC and damage. I also try to protect my carries for max damage to the enemies. We were able to take 3 of them out without any of us dying, so this was a really good team fight. Since Sejuani has great engage, it is very easy to force a team fight, especially in the jungle. Take that to your advantage and force a fight when enemies are out of position. Here we engage when Blitz pulls Lucian. We are able to kill him quickly without having a team fight. With their ADC gone, their damage output has drastically dropped. Sejuani will be able to tank enemies' attack on their tower pretty safely as no one on the enemy has bursty damage. I could have dove here, but I didn't engage and focus tower to get the objective. Once tower is gone, I try to CC the enemies so my teammates can kill. I didn't use my ult here since no one was clumped up and it was not even necessary for me to use an ult for the fight. All I wanted to do was tank and harass so my teammates can get the inhibitor. I just used my ult on Nidalee so I can delay her as much as possible. But it turns out that we don't get inhibitor here because no one was going for it. Of course getting a kill is nice, but if you are able to get an objective such as inhibitor, those should be focused more than trying to get a kill. I've done this in the past as well, but people chase too much and get killed during the chase, where if they were alive, we would have been able to get an objective. So this is the last battle. Since all of us are alive, it is not difficult for us to get the middle inhibitor. Afterwards, we go for the top inhibitor since the top tower is gone as well. During the process, Blitz is able to pull Lucian and we're able to melt him. I don't know why I tried to Q Lucian so late here, but it was an epic Q fail, so don't worry about that. So during all this time, I'm consistently looking for the right time to use my ult since I want to get many people with my ult as possible. But since I fed my lane so much, like the last battle, I don't even need to use my ult. But I just throw my ult at the end because I saw the enemy forfeit, and that's the game.
So let's go over Sejuani's builds. Of course there is more than one way to build Sejuani, but this should give you a good start. So for runes, I get attack speed for marks, armors for seals, scaling MR for glyphs, and movement speed for quintessences. These are pretty standard runes, but just to briefly explain, attack speed helps jungle clear speed, and movement gives you better map presence, and restore armor and MR for sustain. For masteries, I get 0, 21, 9. I put 21 defense for the HP and tankiness, and I put 9 on utilities for prolonged buffs and movement speed. For item order, I made a flowchart for quick guidance on how to buy items, but depending on the situation, of course I changed the build order. But this flowchart should give you some idea on the item order. Lastly, for build order, as I said in the beginning, I get W at level 1 and 3, E at level 2, and Q at level 4. For the rest of the game, I level in the order of R, E, W, Q. I max E first because Permafrost gives increased percentage in slow the more you level it up. Some people do max W first instead for faster jungle clear speed. So this wraps up my Sejuani guide. Thank you for listening.